Disney CEO Bob Iger has finally spoken out on not only Disney's woke content that they're putting out there for kids, but also the political campaign to pressure Disney not to put out that woke content. And what you're seeing reported in some conservative media is that Disney is backing away from the culture war. You know, Disney has learned its lesson and it's going to back away and no longer push this woke content on kids. That's not exactly what I'm hearing from Bob Iger.
Here's a virtual question. Many cast members had wished that Disney stayed out of politics. Will Disney stay out of making political statements?
You know, I think there's a misperception here about what politics is. And I think that some of the subjects that have proven to be controversial as it relates to Disney have been branded political, and I don't necessarily believe they are. I don't think when you are telling stories and attempting to be a good citizen of the world that that's political. Just not how I view it. Do I like the company being embroiled in controversy? Of course not. It can be distracting, and it can have a negative impact on the company. And to the extent that I can work to kind of quiet things down, I'm going to do that. But I think it's important to put in perspective what some of these subjects are and not just simply brand them political.
So the way this is being reported, I'll give an example from Chris Rufo, who's done excellent work fighting CRT, exposing all the crazy indoctrination of kids. He says, exclusive, I've obtained video from Bob Iger's first town hall with employees in which he signals that he will work to quiet things down politically and move toward neutrality in the culture war. I agree with Chris Rufo on most things, many things, but I don't agree with his analysis of what Bob Iger just said. I sort of think it's the opposite. I think what Bob Iger is saying is, yeah, I want to quiet things down because I don't want Disney's bottom line to get hurt, but I am not going to back away from the culture war. You heard what he said there. He said, listen, certain things are being described as political that I don't think are political at all, such as trying to be a good citizen of the world. First of all, anytime you discuss citizenship, you are by definition discussing something that is political. If citizenship is not political, nothing is political. To be a citizen is to be a member of a political community. So Bob Iger is either ignorant of what politics is or he's being obtuse there. But to use that phrase, citizen of the world, that's an extremely politically loaded phrase. To be a citizen of the world is in conflict with being a citizen of a nation. To be a citizen of the world is to accept globalism, which is one of the most politically controversial concepts of our age. And it's obviously Disney is leaning far more in that direction and against the nationalists. So I would that it were so simple, but I don't think that Disney has learned anything. I don't think that Disney is backing away from the culture war. The only thing that they have learned, there's one thing that they have learned, which is they've got to be a little bit more subtle about it. They can't have their executives out there on camera saying, we're going to push a not-so-secret gay agenda. No, they need a secret agenda. They need their radical agenda needs to be a little bit subtler so it doesn't arouse the ire of the ordinary American people to such a point that you've got governors in different states, Ron DeSantis in particular, going in and punishing Disney for pushing this kind of content, okay? And that is why Disney feels that they've got to make any changes whatsoever. It is because of Ron DeSantis, and Ron DeSantis is taking a victory lap for that win.
We didn't drag them in, Tucker. They went in on their own and not only opposed the bill, they threatened to get it repealed. These are parents' rights, important policies in our state that are very popular. And so they brought this on themselves. Yeah. All we did was stand up for what's right. And yes, they're a big, powerful company. But you know what? We stand up for our folks. And I don't care what a Burbank-based California company says about our laws.
Now, don't forget, everyone is celebrating what DeSantis did now. But at the time, it was somewhat controversial on the right. You had people on the right who are more used to that kind of libertarian language or the supposed neutrality of the kind of Bush era, nice neoconservative talking points. The people who say, we never want to use the government. If we use the government, that makes us no different from the left. The kind of people who say, I'm just going to throw my hands in the air and go live my own life. Those are the people who said, no, DeSantis is overreaching. He's an authoritarian. He's a fascist. He can't tell Disney to stop transing the kids. Then you had the conservatives on the other hand. Can you tell which side of this battle I'm on? Then you had the conservatives on the other hand who were saying, this is awesome. Good job. Keep it up, DeSantis. Wield the political institutions to bring Disney into line. That is what the people want you to do. You not only have a right to do that as governor of Florida, you have an obligation to do that. Good job. Keep it up. And though that was controversial at the time, you could see very clearly Ron DeSantis leaning into the conservative side more than the libertarian side, and he's going to keep doing it.